Well, hello and welcome to the Master's Table. Thank you for joining us today. We've got a great dish for you. That's a big piece of something.
Yeah, that's a chuck roast.
That's a chuck roast. We got it. It's going to be good.
It's going to be real good.
Isn't it?
Tina, you know what I'm okay. Doing it. You know it's going to be good.
All right, go ahead.
No, but thank y'all so much for joining us today at the Master's Table. We're thankful that you're taking time out to join us. We got a good one. Mm-hmm. I mean, I always say that, but I'm talking about we got a real good one today. This is
semi-healthy.
No, not really.
Yeah,
sort of, kind of, not really.
Right there.
We're gonna use this chuck roast, and we're gonna do a beef ragu today. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit today. A beef ragu, homemade. This is strictly from scratch. We're gonna use this as a chuck roast. Y'all see the garden we got laying out here, and we got a few tomatoes and a little bit of broth and some seasoning. We got some good stuff going in this. This is
over here.
And this is a slow cooker crock pot meal. So if you want to do it like on a Saturday, you can. If you want to do it before you go to work, you have this ready. We're going to show you how to put all this together, throw that in there, and you're going to have it something real good when you get home.
That is my kind of meal right there, but look at this.
I know, that thing's getting hot. It's ready. It is ready to rock and roll.
All right, we're getting ready to do this. So get you a pencil, piece of paper, a cup of coffee, and a good place to sit down, and so you can take it all in. We're going to take a quick break while Frankie gets his coffee.
I got it. You said get a cup of coffee. There it is.
And we will be right back.
Thank y'all for joining us today at the Master's Table.
We can call the fire department. All right, welcome back. We're about to get this dish rolling and see what we're going to end up with.
See what we're going to end up with. You got like you're very. You got to be open-minded today.
I am a realist, y'all.
Look, I picked up this chuck roast the other day, and I'm gonna go ahead and get it out.
I mean that's huge.
Well, it's a chuck roast, and most of the time with a chuck roast, what we do at home, I'd cut this thing in half or leave it whole, put it in a crock pot and throw some brown gravy mix and a cream of chicken and some broth and make it. But what we're doing today is, let me show you. We're gonna start by kind of quartering this up, and I'm gonna set this back over. This was getting kind of hot a while ago, so I moved it off. But what we want to start by cutting this just kind of in some pieces, and we're gonna go ahead and get it seared. Like I told y'all a while ago, I kind of let the cat out of the bag. This is a slow cooker recipe. This is a crock pot recipe. We're going to sear this, and we're going to set this to the side, and we'll get our other ingredients kind of prepped up and ready to go in there, and we're going to dump it all in here, and we're going to have a whole lot of goodness come out of this right here in a little while.
I love anything that you can throw in the crock pot and leave it and eat it when you get home.
I know you do, Miss Cleveland.
The less time in the kitchen, the better.
There ain't nothing wrong with simple. Now that's a big piece of
that's fat.
That's a big piece of fat. So and I'll kind of go over that about some of this because this does have. You see this marbling in here. That's a lot of flavor in there, but it is a lot of fat, and it'll cause a lot of oil to be on the top. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that in just a little bit. So we got 4 pieces, and we'll bring it up just a little bit more. And you got you some tongs. Now what we're going to do is just set this in, and we just want that. Don't you just love that sound?
I'm just going to back up because I know you're going to say leave it alone.
No, well, I know, but she's always wanting to flip it and turn it and do. But what we're going to do is just let this, we just want this to sear, and we're going to do it on the ends and the side just for a few minutes. It's not going to take long. Turn that up just a hair more, Miss Cleveland. And while that's getting going, I'm going to throw this in this trash. I'll go ahead and take these gloves off.
So when you say sear, for people that don't know, because I didn't know what that meant.
Well, we just want to brown. We want to put a little bit of.
In English, that means to brown it.
Brown. We just want to. Okay, here it is. We're going to brown the outside just a little bit.
Okay, there you go. See, I know
we're going to burn the outside a little bit. But see what that does? That's going to not only make the meat flavorful when it cooks in the crock pot because it's got that sear on it, but it's going to leave some goodness in the bottom of the pan. It's going to leave those little fawns or whatever you want to call those little nibbles of stuff left in the pan. We're going to drop these onions and stuff and get those kind of started. But first of all, like I said, we're going to, let me show you what I'm talking about. See, like, that'll kind of stick. When you first put it in there, see that stick? Now, once that gets a good brown little sear on it, it'll turn loose by itself.
Okay.
So you'll be able to actually just flip that right over here in just a minute. It's not going to take it long. And we don't have to sear it all up or brown it all up, like a lot. But we do want to, see there? See, it'll almost You know, this is one of those deals. This is what my grandmother was full of all kind of sayings, and she said, "Good meat will always make its own gravy."
Yeah.
And so that's what that's doing right there. It'll leave that stuff in there. I'm gonna put this right there so you have something. You don't have to put that on that towel. But like I say, all we want to do is just get a little bit of a sear on that. And I'll talk about this for a second. Let me go ahead and move this out of the way.
I will say, when we cook a roast at home, I know a lot of people just throw it in the crock pot, but I do brown it at home because it does give it a different flavor.
Yeah, well, that's like I say, you just brown it a little bit, and
we'll have to do that on here one day. The cream of chicken soup.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Cream of chicken soup and cream of mushroom soup.
And this is very. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And brown it, put it in the crock pot.
Oh yeah.
Throw that in there on top of it, and you're done.
And what I was gonna say, I could have done this. I'm gonna drop this a little bit of. I'm gonna put just a little bit of pepper and a little bit of just a pinch of salt on this, and tell Dr. Morel don't be looking when I open this salt bucket up. But it's very optional. Put as much salt, pepper as you like. I tend to not cook with a whole lot of salt just for the fact that I'm trying to watch my salt intake, and I want you to watch yours. But you know, you can season it a little bit when you're cooking, and then let everybody put however much salt and pepper they want afterwards. But I love this fresh cracked pepper, so we're gonna put just a little bit on there, and it's coming out pretty good today. I like to have one of those great big ones. Anybody wants me to send me one of them big pepper meals about that big? I'll show you use it.
That's too complicated.
Is it too complicated? Tina always turns it back. We'll be in a restaurant, she takes the top off, pepper goes everywhere. So
I'm like, how do you turn this thing?
So what we're gonna do, that's just barely a pinch of sea salt, and you could use kosher salt or sea. I like sea salt and kosher salt. Ooh, now, Tina, that's probably good. See if that's. Let's see. Go ahead and.
You gonna let me do that?
Yeah, I was just trying to show you. See, it's not sticking now. See, it should be done turned loose a little bit. Just leave it right there on that side.
You gotta do all sides.
Well, you don't have to. See how that's stuck? Now, see, that's a good sear right there. No, we ain't got to do all sides. We do part of it. I could just about eat that. Just knock his horns off when we're ready to eat it. It can be that rare. I'm just kidding. I don't like it that rare. I mean, I could eat it that rare, but I like it. I like my meat kind of like a medium. And like I said, but we're not trying to cook this done. I know you're saying, well, bro, Frankie, you could take forever in the pan. I'm not trying to cook this done. That's what that's for. We're gonna drop it in here in just a little bit, and we're gonna be ready to let this crock pot do all the work. This is just a simple dump and go. I'll talk about these ingredients when we put them in there, but this is just the recipe calls for a small onion. Or a medium onion. This was like a large onion. Now then again, brothers and sisters, put as much. If you don't like onions, you don't have to put onions in it. You know. But it does. It makes a difference in the flavor. And I got celery, and Tina don't like celery, but this is going to cook in there. It even got carrots. And so it really looks like you throw a couple of potatoes. It's just like your roast that you make. But this is a little bit different because we got some crushed tomatoes and got some tomato paste that we're gonna add, as we get it into the crock pot, and a little bit of beef broth. And I'll talk about this in just a little bit of seasonings. We got a little bit of rosemary, a little bit of thyme, and you can't do anything about these bay leaves.
You throw it in.
But smell of it.
That dish with that celery, I don't like
the
it.
The smell of it.
I don't even smell it.
You don't smell it. You can't. Oh, you thinking about that? What you thinking about?
Yeah, I don't like it.
You told me to fix my cup of coffee, so I done got rid of my glove. And I got rid of that, and I got room to put my coffee.
All right.
You see, go ahead and flip that bigger piece over on that end right there. Yeah, like that. We get a little bit on that side.
Look at that.
Huh?
Look at that. That ain't done at all.
Yeah, well, you can flip. You can get a little bit on that side if you want to. You're making a mess over there, too.
I don't care.
You don't care?
I'll clean it up.
I told you, leave it. Then you got to leave it. You just turn it.
I'm putting it on the side that's pink.
Lord, y'all pray for me. Do with them. This is a delicious recipe. I tell you, it smells good when it's cooking in that crock pot. I don't want to give away the secret, but I got a little something gonna go with it over here. I got it here with tin foil. Y'all don't even look over here. Y'all can't see that. Don't even look over here. Let me hide that. I don't want y'all to see that. No, I got some special egg noodles that we're gonna pair that with, and this is really good. This is really good.
So we're just kind of waiting for this to get done?
Yeah, see what that looks like now on that side. Go ahead and get a little bit, flip it, let it get a little bit on that side. Let me get you a bowl. We're going to take that up. You know what? Here we go. See, we all about, I've had the food police reach out to me on different social media things. That's what I call them, the food police. And they talk about my little silver pans, and they talk about how we do things. You know, we are real.
We are from the country. Let's just say that.
I'm not a chef. I just love to cook. And so I'm going to set my little pan right here so that we're all about being easy and quick when we come home from work.
And not having to wash dishes.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can throw it away.
Yep,
You can go to the big box warehouse and buy a pack of those for $10, and you got a bunch of them. You can just look how many paper plates we go through. And we use paper plates.
Yep.
I mean, don't think we don't eat with no.
I got lots of.
You come on up in here and get you some plastic anytime. We ain't washing nothing if we ain't got to. But I'm just kidding.
We do that at church too.
Yeah, we do that at church too. But what we're gonna do is let that go about another minute or so, and we'll slide that over just for a second, and we'll take that meat off, and then we're gonna keep, like I told y'all, all this goodness that this meat, some of that little bit of fat and stuff, the little nuggets that's leaving in the pan, we're gonna take all that and leave it, and then we're gonna add this and give these onions and that celery and this carrots a head start here in just a minute. So what you think, Miss?
Sounds like a plan.
It's looking pretty good to me.
I'm trying to see what needs to be. I want that look like a little brown.
You want it to be a little brown?
Yeah.
All you gotta do is just flip it around.
Push it to the middle.
Push it to the middle. That's where the heat is.
Man in the middle.
And you know, these, yeah, the man in the middle, that's right. There was three men hanging on the cross, right?
Yep.
There was one on the right dying in sin.
Yep.
And there was another one dying on the left to sin. But thank God for that man in the middle was dying for sin.
There's a song about that.
Yeah, I like that.
I didn't write it though.
Yep. Lord's been good to us.
Yep.
That I was gonna say something about that meat. I was gonna say something. I figured you done took my whole.
Talking about being in the middle.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was talking about these cooktops. I really like this flat surface cooktop. This one heats pretty good. But then, you know, there ain't nothing like gas. I'm getting ready to change out our one at home to gas.
I don't think I can even try to cook on gas.
So you can't even cook on electric.
That's what I'm saying. Gas is like a flame up under there.
Yeah, but you can regulate it so much. It gets hot quick, and you can just cut it off and just.
See, that's the problem. It gets hot quick. With this, you got time. If you mess up, you got time to fix it before it just.
It ain't gonna do that. Flip that one more time. We're gonna take these off in just a second. Like I said, we got see, that's perfect right there. That is perfect.
I mean.
I know. I sure want got you on that end. You're the pot stirrer. You the meat flipper. I mean, she's a jack of all trades.
I think that one's done.
Yeah, it ain't done.
I mean, done.
Okay, I'm gonna say it ain't done, Miss Cleveland. But no, that's fine. You go ahead and put those in there. Put those two in there. Go ahead and take those off. Yeah. And like I say, we're not. It don't matter. I mean, it can be a little bit or a lot. It don't matter. We're just kind of giving a sear, and we just want to get a little bit of just a little bit of brown on it.
You gonna leave that up on high?
Well, just leave it right there just for a second.
Let's let it get real brown.
Get it real brown.
Start smoking.
Can't get you to leave it alone. Quit food. You ain't letting it lay there long enough.
It's pretty brown on that side.
Flip it over right there. Beef ragu. Have y'all tried beef ragu at home? If you have, reach out to me. Share your recipe with me.
I don't think I've ever had it.
Frankie393@gmail, or our information will be on the screen. You can call or text me. Just don't call too late. I won't answer, but I will call you back. But you can text us or reach out to us. Let me know if you tried it. If your own version, I guess, of say a beef ragu. This is gonna be some good right here, Miss Cleveland.
Why is it called ragu? Because of the tomato sauce?
Yeah, but just because of what's in it. Yeah. Like a ragu.
All right, is enough?
Yeah, go ahead and throw them in there. Go ahead and throw them in there, Miss Cleveland.
All right.
Y'all notice she takes those instructions real well. All right, so what we want to do, I want to put just a little taste of this avocado oil. You can turn that back down to about medium. That's probably a tablespoon or so of avocado. And this recipe is probably.
Now, I love to do this.
Probably already on the screen. It's probably been on there. But I'm gonna tell you, like I always tell you, if you want any of these recipes, they're yours. All you got to do is reach out to me. Like I said, the information will be on there. I'll be glad to email it to you. And most of the time, a lady, she emailed me just last week, and I sent her a recipe, and I'll send it to you in a Word document, so that you can go in there and edit it. You can make it. I want you to make it your own. I want you to make it just like you like it. So That's the reason why I do that. But any of these recipes are available. If you want them, I'll be glad to give it to you. So what you think, Miss Cleveland?
Yeah, I do. I love the smell of onions.
So you like them onions, don't you? Let those.
Yep.
We're gonna let them get just a little bit of a head start. All right, that was, like I told y'all, that was a pretty large onion. You could go with a little less onion if you want to. I mean, that's give or take to your taste. But I mean, when it's cooked like that, I don't think you can ever have too much onion. I like the onion flavor. Sometimes I'll add a little bit more onion powder to mine just to give it a little bit more of that flavor. But it's funny I like it like that because I never like raw onions. I don't like them raw, but boy, you cook them, I'll eat them all day long. Now we're gonna go ahead and this was I think this was these were pretty wide.
Too many.
No, Tina don't like celery.
Too many.
This was 2 stalks of pretty wide celery, and I just cut it down, rough chop. It's not small. I didn't figure I'd bore you. I mean, y'all know how to chop. Y'all know how to cut celery and cut carrots up. Just chop them up. These were some whole carrots. I even peeled them and cut those. But I'm gonna go ahead and drop that celery. Like I said, that was like 2 stalks, just a rough chop. You can cut it smaller if you like. And that was 2 carrots. That's a lot of carrots. That was a big carrot. Bugs Bunny would have liked them carrots. I got that bag at the big box store the other day, and they were those carrots were like long. Did you see those I got out when I was peeling them? Those carrots were like that long and big. So that was almost 2.
I liked them.
Huh?
I wish I liked them.
You don't like carrots?
Not really.
I do.
They don't have any taste to me.
I want to put just a little bit of our. Can't do anything without a little bit of seasoning. This is our all-purpose. This is just
These are available. If you need some, let us know. We'll send it to you. We also have some shirts and we have some coffee mugs.
Yep, we have a little bit of merchandise. We're just trying to get the name out there. This is our own all-purpose seasoning. This is salt. Actually, the last batch, I'm cutting that salt down. So if you want something that's got salt in it, you can let me know. But I'm cutting the salt down. This is black pepper. This is garlic. This is paprika. This is a little bit of onion powder. This is just all the goodness. You got those 5 or 6 or 8 bottles of stuff in your cabinet. It's all in one right there. And then I got another one. Not trying to sell it to you, just trying to tell you what I got. If you want some of it, I'll send it to you. This is the same thing, but it's got some red pepper in it. And this right here is
that's the best right there.
Everybody loves this. Even Miss Christina, she told me a while ago that her dad loves this. I'm gonna send this bottle home with her today to Daddy so he can have some more lemon pepper. Everybody loves that lemon pepper. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good. I like it all.
Yep.
I'm gonna eat it all.
Yep.
All right, Miss Cleveland. And talk about what we got going over here because you got those going. Is those? Yeah. Like I said, we're not trying to cook this done. We're just trying to
get some flavor
cook,
in it.
Cook these just a little bit. Just like you can go ahead and cut that eye off if you want to. Just cut it completely
I
out.
know what I'm talking about.
You do. You do what you're talking about sometimes. I told Tina one time, I said, you don't know what you're doing. She said, I know I don't know what I'm doing. She went ahead and admitted it.
Hey, I admit it.
if you want to, now I don't know, people's different. If you want to, you can coat your inside of your crock pot with a little bit of oil. You can spray it and you can use those little bags or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't ever do that. I just, if it sticks.
It's a good idea.
I just put it in the sink and let it soak for a little while. So that's just how I do it. I don't know how you do it. That's how I do it. And the last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get this right here going, is my handy dandy garlic press. Now this is one of my favorite things to do. I don't know why this is so gratifying, but watch this. Just something about that tearing up something, I guess, what it feels like. Let me put my other ones in here.
Tearing some up.
I reckon. I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It's just something gratifying about that. That was. You can put 3 to 4 cloves of that fresh garlic. Now, what you want to do? That's just going to become fragrant.
Smell good.
That's going to become fragrant real fast. Let me get that little bit right there. And what we're going to do is just let that just for a second, and we're just going to drop all this in here. I'll put just a little dab of that right there on the bottom.
A little dab of do you?
A little dab of do you.
You got to be old to remember that little phrase.
That's right. You are old, Miss Cleveland.
If anybody out there knows what that means, a little dab of do you, send me a message and let me know.
Come here. Go ahead and get that last little bit of goodness out of there. Now this is what we're going to do. Drop your veggies in there first. Your onions and your carrots and your celery. Like I said, brothers and sisters, this comes together real quick. And then we're going to add, and get my top right here. These top went ahead and pre-opened these. I didn't want to bore you opening up a bunch of cans or nothing. All right, this is just a, I think this is 6 ounce.
It says it.
Yeah, 6 ounce can of tomato, but we're gonna use the whole can of tomato paste. This gives it that little bit of richness. We get. You say, is that my stomach growling?
It probably is. Growling?
It probably is. I'm hungry, Miss Cleveland. All right, there's some 6 ounces of tomato paste. This is a 28 ounce can of crushed tomatoes. I like the fire roasted. I like the fire roasted tomato, but I couldn't find them in a big can, so I got just a regular
stir it up
crushed. So we're gonna add that, Miss Cleveland. Look at there. See, I know you liking. So that's what you want to do right there.
I like to do stuff like
that. I know you like to stir up stuff, don't you? See, look at that look on her face. I said something about stirring up stuff, and she liked that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. All right. So we got our wet ingredients now. We got the tomato paste, and we got the crushed tomatoes, and now we're gonna start with our little bit of seasoning. This don't have a whole lot in it. Like I say, you can put a little more salt in it, a little bit more pepper, but this right here is a half a teaspoon of rosemary and a half a teaspoon of thyme. And what I like to do is go ahead and measure this stuff out, put it in my crock pot, and let it go. But the thing about measuring it out is it makes it like a dump and go. You're not running all over the kitchen looking for all this stuff. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna add some beef broth. Now, this recipe, as I was reading, you can add, you can use 1 cup of beef broth and 1 cup of red cooking wine if you want to. But I chose today just to use 2 cups of beef broth and about that much more right there. Just a touch more. Go ahead and give that a good stir, Miss Cleveland. You ain't got to do a whole lot, just kind of get it mixed just a little bit. Yeah,
but I like it all mixed right.
Okay. And this bay leaf was broke, so it called for 2 bay leaves. So that's about a half and another little one. So we're gonna drop these bay leaves in there. That's a good secret ingredient too, Miss Cleveland. Now let me get these and hand me your tongs over there. We're gonna get this going right here. Watch this.
Does them bay leaves come out?
Oh yeah. Yep. One way or another. They will come out. I'm just kidding. We'll put that little bit of juice, that goodness in there.
Now cover them.
Yep, so now that's all we got to do right there. Now let me show you what we're going to do right here, brothers and sisters. We're going to cut this thing on. This one's got a timer on. I'm going to set this on high. Let's see, for 6 hours. All right, that's 6 hours. That's good. It's going to cook.
I'm soaking them good.
This is 6 hours on high. If you want to do this before you go to work, you can set it for 8 or 10 hours on low, and it'll be ready when you get home. So we're going to let that ride just for a little while. We'll be back to see y'all in about 6 hours, and we're going to see what we got. What you think, Miss Cleveland?
I think whatever you say is what we're going to do.
Yeah,
now that's an easy dish.
So that was
right
quick
there.
and easy. I even got time.
Well, and the thing is, you can omit anything that we put in there. You can omit it if you don't like the celery, if you don't like, whatever. But don't go away. We're coming right back. We're going to see what it looks like and take a short break.
Yep. Thank y'all.
Welcome back. Let me give you your tip of the day. This is the easiest one ever. I know you've heard Frankie probably say this 100 times, but it is so true. Read your recipe before you start cooking. How many times, I know when I've tried to cook, looked at a recipe, I just start doing it, and then there's 2 or 3 things that I don't have. Going to mess up the whole meal. So
stage it out. Read
your recipe and stage it out. That is your tip of the day. All right.
All right, brothers and sisters,
see what this
here we
looks
are.
Like.
Now, this is what I wanted to talk to you. I told you in the beginning when we started searing that meat in there. Actually, when I was cutting it, I was talking about some of that marbling and that fat in there. What I want you to do, if you can see that, if we have an overhead, I don't know if we got overhead good on this or not, but you'll see some of that oil in there.
I see it.
And and what I want you to do is just take just some regular paper towels, and we can kind of soak a little bit of that up. Now, you're not going to get it all out. I'm sorry, you ain't going to get it all out. I mean, I guess if you've done this as a leftover, after this time, that you could actually take it out of the refrigerator once that cools, and you will be able to.
Kind of like spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, you could dip it off, but I try to get some of that extra oil out of there. Now, that got a lot of it. Like I said, I'm not going to get all of it.
That could be a tip of the day.
Now, remember those chunks when we put them in there, Tina? See
Yeah.
that? Now look at that.
Oh, yeah.
See how that just comes all apart?
Yeah.
Now, see, there's one of your bay leaves you was talking about. So there's a bay leaf. Tina don't like the bay leaves.
Nope.
And I'll find the other one in a minute. But what you want to do is just take and just shred this up. Shred this up. Get it broke up as well as you can. Let me see your tongs right there, Miss Cleveland. I'm gonna get just a couple of these. These are, I guess you call these portobello, whatever noodles. These are egg noodles. And what we're gonna do is just throw a little bit of that and a little bit of this. Look at here, Miss Cleveland.
And that's what it looks like.
And there it is.
So try this at home. Let us know how yours turns out.
That's right.
And thank you for joining us today.
See you next time on the Master's Table.
Next week, we'll be here.